The Truckee River, which drains Lake Tahoe, is a hell of a place to learn how to fly fish. They say if you can catch fish here, then you can catch them anywhere. It's technical, it's moody, and it's notoriously unforgiving. But there's a silver lining in all of that. The tactics that this river forces you to develop, the precise mends, the depth management, the obsession with the perfect drift, they become your superpower on every other river you'll ever visit. To give some perspective, I looked back at my river log recently. Early in my fishing career, there was one 6-month stretch that spanned dozens of sessions in which I'd only landed a handful of small fish. I'd put in more days getting skunked than not. I was putting in the hours, but the scoreboard wasn't really moving in my favor. Contrast that with a road trip I took to Colorado during that same period. In the middle of winter, with zero prior experience on those waters, I was landing browns and rainbows on the Arkansas and Colorado during 15-minute pit stops along the road. I realized that I wasn't necessarily a bad angler, I was just learning in a very difficult classroom. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not that there's no fish in the Truckee. They definitely are there, and they're often quite large. It's just that they have a very high IQ. They rarely care for what you're offering, and they really don't care for how you're offering it. It took me months of trial and error and a lot of patient advice from the guys in the local fly shop to finally get it. A lot of the lessons here actually go counter to what works on other rivers. You have to unlearn some of the easy stuff to find success in the Truckee. But then it finally happened. I had what I'd call a good day on this river. 5 to 6 fish in the net, heavy, wild rainbows near and beyond the 18-inch mark, including my personal best. For a moment, I felt like I'd finally started to crack the code.
Right at exactly 18 inches.
The most effective rig that day was an indicator with split shot, a pale yellow egg, and a small, size 18 to 20 dark colored Baetis. Most of the fish were taking the Baetis, but that egg can really help getting their attention.
18, 17 maybe.
Even on a good day on this river, you might only get a handful of strikes in each run. So I kept moving around, looking for different sun and different shade conditions, different speed, different water depth.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
This spot just kept producing good fish this day, and of course it saved the best for last.
Right. On the little midge. Beat us. Whew. Oh, lordy. Let's see. It's about 18. Maybe even a bit more. Yep. Personal best there, for sure.
And then, after my best day on the river, I proceed to get skunked for 7 sessions in a row, a total streak of zeros. Which, I guess, brings me to the final lesson of the Truckee. You don't ever really beat this river. You just get invited to have a good day every once in a while.